I was a career bureaucrat, not a warrior, not an explorer, not some grand diplomat with silver tendrils and poetic speech. Just another cog in the well-oiled machine of the Galactic Coordination Alliance, what you humans might call the Empire, though we never liked that term. And then one morning, after a rather satisfying breakfast of mineral slush and crystalline wafers, I received a message. Congratulations, Vernac. You are being reassigned to the Human Integration Oversight Division. Report immediately to Sector 92H, Earth Detachment. I blinked my nictitating membranes. The message remained. A reassignment to humans. Let me make this perfectly clear. In the upper echelons of galactic bureaucracy, a reassignment to Earth was not a promotion. It was exile wrapped in congratulations. Everyone in the Alliance knew the same rumor. Humans were chaos with a pulse. Unpredictable, emotional, dangerously inventive. Sure, they'd only recently joined the Alliance, but they'd already upset 4 minor civilizations, reverse-engineered a quality and encryption matrix for fun, and built an entirely unauthorized deep space railgun just to see if it could launch them to Pluto in under a minute. It did. It also turned Pluto into gravel. My shuttle touched down at their Earth HQ, an enormous compound made entirely of reinforced concrete and solar panels. Why? Because it looked cool, apparently. I stepped off the shuttle, expecting to be greeted by armed guards. Instead, a single human in a wrinkled uniform bounced toward me, grinning. "Welcome to the madness," she shouted, extending her hand. "Lieutenant Kara Jensen, you must be Vernac. Come on, we got a pizza party in the rec room." I paused. Pizza? What in the cold vacuum of protocol was a pizza party? It got worse. My first assignment involved coordinating joint equipment allocations between the human engineers and our own Alliance supply officers. I walked into the human logistics bay expecting order. I got jazz music blaring from wall-mounted speakers, and a human wearing what I later learned was a cape made of zip ties. "Yo, V-Dude," the human shouted. "We repurpose your fusion modules as heat sinks for our new terraforming drones. Is that cool?" "No," I explained patiently. "That is several degrees of not cool. That's catastrophic misuse of high-energy plasma tech." He nodded. "Rad. So not cool. Got it. We'll fix it. Probably." 3 weeks in, something shifted. Not in them, in me. At first, their behavior grated against every principle of Alliance culture. Protocol? A suggestion. Uniforms? Optional. Risk assessments? Performed after the explosion. But somewhere between my second pizza slice and my 5th spontaneous celebration of functional failure, I began to understand them. Humans didn't worship order because they thrived in chaos. They turned mistakes into innovation. Their ships weren't the sleek, sterile cruisers of the core. No, they were bruised and patched and named things like the Flaming Pickle and Get Wrecked. And somehow they worked, often better than ours. One night, I found myself helping a human technician reroute a power grid using, and I cannot believe I am saying this, an empty snack bag and determination. And it worked. But things weren't just parties and improvisation. Tensions were rising on the frontier. A Varnathi war fleet was amassing, and the humans were being asked to stand down. The Alliance believed negotiations would prevail. Humans, however, believed in contingencies. "Trust," one human commander said to me, "but keep your battle armor warm." And then the attack came. The Varnathi fleet bypassed diplomatic channels and launched a preemptive strike against a neutral station. 3 Alliance cruisers were vaporized in seconds. Back at Earth HQ, chaos erupted. While the Alliance counselors argued and the diplomats tried to wordsmith a response, the humans had already activated their defense grid. I stood in the command room, surrounded by coffee cups and blinking lights, as Kara barked orders into a comm unit. "Launch the pickle in the wreck. All hands. Full burn. Tell him we got incoming, and it ain't friendly." I turned to her, horrified. "You're launching without authorization." She smiled grimly. "Authorization comes after we stop the bleeding." I was on board Get Wrecked, because of course I was. When the human response fleet made contact, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't graceful, but it was terrifying. Human ships, half the size of our Nazi warships, dove straight into formation, breaking their lines like a hammer to glass. Every time we were hit, damaged crews were already patching before the alarms stopped ringing. Wherever our Nazi ship would retreat, the humans surged forward, laughing, even as fire burned down the hull. We won, not because of superior firepower, but because humans refused to die quietly. When the smoke cleared, I stood next to Kara on the bridge, watching the stars drift in the aftermath. "They told me you were dangerous," I said. She raised an eyebrow. And they were right. A week later, I received another message from Alliance Command. "Vernak, you're eligible for reassignment. Please select a new sector." I stared at the message for a long time. Then I deleted it. I wasn't going anywhere. Because if the universe ever needed saving again, I want to be standing next to the species crazy enough to build a space cannon from scrap and name their flagship the Flaming Pickle. Congratulations, me. I'd been reassigned to humans, and I wouldn't have it any other way.